Welcome Dr. Karri Rama Reddy garu, the eminent psychiatrist from Rajmahendravaram. Sir is very senior and he has many degrees. Uh, I had posted in all the groups. He has 89 degrees from senior and he has. Hello. Very brief biodata of Dr. Karri Rama Reddy garu. Sir has done his MD and DPM from NIMHANS, Bengaluru. Then he had PhD, MBA, MCA, MTech, LLM in different professions. Sir is a former professor of psychiatry in GSL Medical College. He is director and consultant psychiatrist of Mansa Hospital, Rajmahendravaram. Sir is the recipient of BC Roy National Awardee, Dr. DLN Murthy Rao Oration Awardee of IPS National Level, Professor J.K. Trivedi Lifetime Achievement Award, IPS National, Amit Bora Oration Awardee, IAPP National, IMA National Diamond Jubilee Oration Awardee, IMA National Dr. Menda Oration Awardee, Gapio Lifetime Achievement Award Global, Vaijilingam Oration Award Chennai Psychiatric Society, Vishaka Oration Award IPS South Zone, Civic Reception by Rajamahendravaram Municipal Corporation. Sir has more than 50 awards or titles and his sir's name is recorded in Limca Book of Records and World Records, Genius Wonder, Golden Star, etc. for most varied educational qualifications, 89 degrees, diplomas and certificates. Sir is also in administrative post like past president of IPS South Zonal Branch, past editor of Indian Journal of Medical and Psychiatry and AP Journal of Psychiatric Medicine. Sir has more than 4,200 publications on health education, socio-political issues, more than treated more than 2 lakh psychiatric patients. IPS. Now I request, with this brief introduction, I request Karri Rama Reddy sir to take over the stage.
Thank you, Narayan Rao garu, for your introduction. I will proceed with my slide presentation. I will share my screen and continue my speech. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
I'm audible also. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I will proceed. Today, good evening, everybody. Today, my topic is somewhat to hear about that one. It looks somewhat odd because for psychiatrists of such a caliber and psychiatry students, speaking on stress management is a ridiculous thing. But here, stress management is not the core issue. It is addressing the public is the core issue. How to address the public, what precautions we have to take, why should we address the public at all? So as a prototype or as an example, I have taken up the stress management as one of the topics. So starting from my first slide, I think how we will proceed with any presentation, I think the PG students may somewhat get a glimpse of this one. I welcome you all for this wonderful lecture series, and I respect Telangana State Branch Psychiatric Society, Indian Psychiatric Society branch, and my respects to all the organizing committee members and also the members of Telangana Psychiatric Society. And my respects to Dr. Kammampati Narayan Rao Garu and all his team by offering a digital bouquet to him. Okay, as a medical student, we sat with the books, we slept with the books, we ate the books, we drank the books, and of course, we vomited the books in the examination hall. Larger the vomitus, greater our rank. And by the time we came out of MBBS, we were walking encyclopedias. With that knowledge, only we could get a seat somewhere in Kaloji Narayan Rao University of Health Sciences, in some college or other, in MD course or DPM course. And some of our people got opportunity in the national institutes like NIMHANS or AIMS for MD courses. And there in psychiatric course, got exposed to so many things: child psychiatry, geriatric psychiatry, phenomenology, community psychiatry, psychopharmacology, psychotherapies, neurochemistries, neurophysiology, pathology, oh, so many things. To tell honestly, it was something like an information overload. During those 3 years, our head has swollen to such an extent that it can be called even bibliocephalus. After that, we came out of with laurels, and either we sat in the chair of a medical college seat, either as a tutor or senior resident, or in your private practice in the psychiatric chair, and then how to get the patients. Immediately from the first day onwards, we are not going to have patients. Nobody knows that about your existence. There is a rule by MCA that we should not advertise. A businessman can advertise, a corporate hospital may advertise, but not an individual doctor. If individual doctor advertises, he can invite any punishment. So we can't advertise. Then how do the people know about us? So I think we should have some mechanism. Why are you sitting in this chair? Why we have chosen this psychiatry? Of course, people say that as a doctor, you do a lot of service to the society. Of course, that is the common thing. But apart from that, certain side things also, side goals also we have. I think maybe money is one of the important factors. Those who join in government practice, they will have secure income in the form of 1 lakh rupees as a junior or 1.5 lakhs as a senior, and that is a secure income. But whereas in private practice, the range is so vast. One may get 50,000 or 60,000, one may get 10 lakhs or 15 lakhs even. So that will be the range. So depending upon the risk taking, one chooses if he cares for money. Some people, they don't care for money, but they crave for fame. Kirtikanksha, Dhanakanksha, Kirtikanksha. For that Kirtikanksha, they will be doing so many things so that they will be rewarded with respect, honors, and awards or rewards or titles and so on. Some people, some of us, they are interested in academics and they publish papers, they keep on presenting papers, and slowly they escalate into such a stage that they'll be often giving lectures or conducting seminars. So some of us have the goal of academics, and some of us have the goal of leadership. They keep on climbing the leadership ladder so that they become president of state level, zone level, or national level, or even international or global level. And some people go outside the realm of the psychiatry and enter into the general politics. They become MLA or MP and so on. So that is so many goals are there would be operating in the secondary level, apart from the service. But whatever the goal, we have to go into the public, that you should be known to the people. So you require some marketing management. What marketing management we can do? Advertising is prohibited, so we cannot advertise at all. So how do we market? So it requires some propaganda. The first thing is carving a niche. Carving a niche first for the psychiatry department itself. When we entered into this profession 45 years ago, people were not aware of what a psychiatrist does. Like psychotics going to the exorcist for Bhotavaijam, or people going to the psychologist thinking that their counseling will be offering something good for them. Psychiatrist only is the person who knows only to throw sleeping pills. So that type of, from that scenario, gradually we carved a niche towards the branch of psychiatry. Later, as an individual, you have to carve a niche for yourself. Oh, this person is a psychiatric patient. Where to take this psychiatric patient? Oh, that particular doctor, although he is very young, he seems to be very good. Why not there? So that type of attitude people should get. For that, we require some propaganda. What type of propaganda? The propaganda, the best propaganda agent is our patient only. Patient to prospective patient by word of mouth. Gradually it spreads in the villages, gradually spreads in the communities, gradually to the districts, and it keep on spreading, so that the people will be knowing about you. And these days we have got the Google ratings also, so that oh, this man has earned this many stars, and this man has ill reputation of this sort. Who will be doing propaganda apart from the patients? There are certain people in the society who are called opinion leaders. Those opinion leaders, for example, journalists. If you just conduct a press meet, and journalist will spread the message either through his essays or news or some other item, and a journalist is a potential propaganda agent. Another propaganda agent is teachers. In a village, if anybody gets any problem, they will be just consulting the teacher who is known to them. And because teacher is the person who is intellectual, who knows everything, they will be asking the teacher what to do. And another source is the priests of the place, religious persons, whether he is a temple priest or he is a pastor. People will be confiding their woes to the pastor, and he will be guiding them. And another important propaganda source is NGOs, Rotary clubs, Lions clubs. These people, they will be spreading the message to the common people. So, keeping such people opinion leaders, you have to spread about the news about you. Never refuse an invitation for anybody. You may be earning so many hundreds of rupees or thousands of rupees if you sit in the chair. But when you go to outside a meeting, you may not be getting even a rupee. You will be losing so much money there by spending time there in a school or college. By spending 2 hours there or 3 hours there, if you calculate money wise, you will be losing some 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees money wise, your time value. But this time value will have in the long run, it will have lot of value, and it will be something like a seed which will be growing. And never refuse invitation from anybody. Whoever asks, try to find some time, and try to find some time so that the patients can be pushed this side or that side that particular day. Schools, when usually in the schools you are called, because the children will be tense about the examinations, or they will be losing their study techniques and losing their academic status marks. So teachers will be calling you to address the students. I think never refuse that one, because those are the potential people. Sometimes, I mean, I happen to meet somebody or other who is working as a software engineer somewhere in US or so, and he reminds me, 30 years back or 20 years back, you came to our school and you addressed us, and your PowerPoint presentation, I never forget. So how happy we feel about that one. See, here this is the scenario where the school people, they just contacted a local cinema theater and they booked that theater so that I can conduct a class for them, 10th class students, motivating them for the examination. That cinema hall person was so kind, that so charitable, that he gave the hall free. So this type of things we often face. So schools never avoid. And also the officers. For example, prisons. If you are in touch with the prison officers, either you can address the prisoners or you can address the prison officers. This is the state calendar, prison calendar. In that state prison calendar, 1 month, particular month, my photo is kept. Among the 12 months, 1 month is devoted, 1 month cover is devoted to me, because my lecture was such influential for the prison staff about the suicide awareness, how to prevent suicide there, or how to tackle with the suicidal intention and suicidality in general. So they were very happy, because 99% of the good things they do, people forget. But 1% the bad thing in the form of a suicide of a prisoner, that will come into the front, and they will be naturally incriminated. And also, the most frightening person in the society is income tax man. See how the royal reception was. That income tax building, they kept a banner near the gate inviting me, and a banner near outside the building. So such a reception. Why? They wanted a lecture from me on ethics and morality. So income tax commissioner, deputy commissioner, and officers and all the staff, they wanted to learn something from me about morality and ethics. And with Gajmala, they just, they honored me. So you can imagine, when you develop some public relations, when you keep on speaking something or other, you will be naturally rewarded with so many things. And even journalists, this is from journalists of Tamil Nadu, a newspaper, a magazine people. They gave me some lifetime achievement award because they happen to listen to my lectures. So this type of journalists are very important source for us. And even religious organizations, although we psychiatrists are rationalists, we condemn hallucinations, we condemn so many things as superstitions. We need not underrate our scientific temper, but at the same time, as Dr. Neki was telling, we have to honor the local sentiments. Similarly, even the religiosity also, religious organizations, you be with them, and you share with them, and so that people will come nearer to you. And NGOs, very important. Lions Club, Rotary Club, or JCs. So these people will be even there, Vishwa Hindu Parishad, any social organization, you get the opportunity, try to address them. What to address? You are so good at neurobiology, Jungian psychology, borderline personality disorder, schizoaffective disorder, cyclothymia, dissociative phenomena, neurocognitive deficits, psychodynamics of personality. Oh, such a lot of things you know. When you go somewhere and say that, yeah, may I tell you the latest development on schizophrenia? If you say, who will listen to you? So never try to express or try to um, impose your erudition on the people. What they need is important, not what you have. what the people need it. So that you have to tell there. That's why the appealing topics are something like stress management, success in life, parenting techniques, turbulent teenage, psychology of everyday life, effective study techniques, facing the examinations with a bold face, emotional regulation. For example, these things, success in life, we just don't read it as a topic in psychiatry. But this is the thing which the personality developers, they take over and they shine. For example, some people, see, Yandamur Veerendranath Garu, he is not a medical man. He is not a psychologist even. But with his skills, with his oratory skills, with his literary skills, he impresses people in such a way that when a psychiatrist is called and when Yandamur Veerendranath Garu is called, people give more importance to Veerendranath Garu only. Why? Because those things which appeal the people, they'll be talking about. Even the common sense also. Similarly, parenting techniques and psychology of everyday life. See, the Freudian things, ego defense mechanisms, the humor in the humor and its effects, or its pathology, psychopathology of jokes. So this type of things, they will listen so so interestingly. So such type of things, effective study techniques. When you teach those things, for example, how to read, PQR3 technique. PQR3 technique, who will teach us in psychiatry? Nobody will tell. We have to learn about that one. Similarly, how to memorize the things, the recency effect and uh, see other memory techniques like the multimodal techniques and all these things which are very important. I think we can tell them. Even the examination also, how to prepare 6 months before, 1 month before, 1 week before, a day before the examination, that night how to spend, and examination hall, how to conduct yourself during the first few minutes in the examination hall, how to read the question paper, and how to put the marks on the question paper, and how to plan the time for the answering that one, and how different way the preparation would be for essay writing and for MCQs. So many things I think you can develop the skills, and when you tell, it is something like Sankamlo Tirtham, so that type of thing, when it comes from the mouth of a psychiatrist, they will happily listen and they will follow. So before going to any public meeting, you have to do some groundwork. Who are the audience? Audience, if those are educated people, then your style will be somewhat different. If those are children, your style will be somewhat in a different way. If all women, I think you have to confine yourself to certain dignified ways of expression, not the jokes of somewhat outside the boundary. So audience you have to think about. And the next is the place, whether you are going to a city auditorium or going to a very village where even sometimes the power goes off so often. So that place also you have to think about. And usually whenever a public meeting you are going, a day before, you send your assistant there to study the place and give the report to you. You think that you can present a PowerPoint presentation there, but there the hall will be full of windows, and you cannot have darkness at all, and even the power also will be going so often. So it will not be a fruitful thing to go with a PowerPoint there. Or sometimes you have to address the people in the night time, where in the open place or in the auditorium. Sometimes it should be a part of a large meeting, or is it a solo thing? A large meeting is going on, you are called there. And then you will be a minuscule among so many things. You will not be given that much importance, but you go with so much paraphernalia so that you can present a big presentation, you think. But within 5 minutes or 10 minutes, the audience keep on clapping. You think that initially the clapping is an applause, but it is not applause, but they are asking you to close down. So when it is a large meeting, never try to give a bigger presentation. And also the context. The context is, see, sometimes the organizers ask you, anniversary, school anniversary, you come as a chief guest and you give very good address, advice to the parents and also the students, they say. When they are in an all festive mood, how can you just address them? Who will be listening to you? And it is impossible to speak to them. So you just, I mean, politely refuse, saying that separately I will come one day and address the parents meeting you can arrange, but not for this anniversary. If you ask me to come for anniversary, okay, I will smilingly sit there. I will accept the garland you give and the memento, but not a speech on stress management or so. And then another thing you have to think about is the allotted time. You will have the fixed presentation with you, maybe 1 hour presentation or 1.5 hour presentation, but they will have only 15 minutes or 20 minutes. So you have to be in such a way that you have to cut short to 15 minutes or 20 minutes, or you can expand to 1 hour to 2 hours even. And also, depending upon the time, whether to give the presentation or to speak orally, you have to decide. And another important factor is language. As long as it is in our state, it is most preferable to speak in Telugu only, so that we can have heart-to-heart talk. Although you can speak in English, although they expect you to speak in English, it is better to speak in Telugu so that the things will go straight into the brain. And when you are expected to speak in English, then you switch to bilingual, often to express certain idioms. And then another thing is projector or LCD, whether the people have that facility or not, you think about it. Otherwise, if you have your own thing, you take along with you and go 15 minutes or 20 minutes before, so that you can test it whether it is working well or not. And the PowerPoint slides should be, you should have ample number of slides. See, for a presentation, only some 25 or 30 slides we think, but you prepare 100 slides, but don't present all the 100 slides, you assort them such a way that depending upon the audience, you can present those slides and you can keep the rest of the things aside. And you have to think about whether it is a didactic lecture or interactive. If it is interactive, better not to have PowerPoint at all. And another very important thing is the build-up or hype creation. See, when they call you, when you go there, and they are, sometimes it so happens that they would not be having any preparation at all for your arrival. రండి రండి కూర్చోండి కాఫీ తాగుతారా ఐ విల్ కాల్ ద స్టూడెంట్స్ ఒరే 10th క్లాస్ పిల్లలు అందరినీ అక్కడ కూర్చోబెట్టేంటిరా. So this is the way they behave. And that 1 hour they will be just whether sleeping or disinterestedly chatting. So things of that sort will happen. But usually when you have some contact in that school, you be with that contact, so that he will be preparing the students a day before. Tomorrow such a sir is coming, such a sir, how many degrees he has got, how much knowledge he has got. So that type of hype creation, if he has done, I think when we go there, really it will be working very well. District collector, if he goes alone to the for inspection, nobody will care. A Buntroth, an attender going before the district collector saying that collector sir is coming, collector sir is coming, then it will create an aura. So that type of thing is necessary for public meetings. See, for this stress management, now I'll go for this uh, prototype example. I have got 200 slides on the topic of stress management. So usually 200 slides means 1.5 hours or 2 hours. But I am not going to present those 200 slides to you. How I will prepare the whole 200 slides? Because I need not tell anything about stress management to you because you know everything. Uh, but okay, oh, these things I think we can prepare so that you can understand that one, so that you can keep the slides with you. Always prepare the slides by yourself. Don't borrow them. Don't copy them, so that you will be losing that uniqueness. Your signature, abstractly, your signature should be printed on your on the slide. So I think now I'll proceed with that one. Now take off. See, when you are called there, the takeoff should be always, it is somewhat surprising or somewhat paradoxical. When you are called about to stress management, you have to say that, do you know stress is so good? You always require stress. And I wish all of you have a lot of stress. When you say like that, people get somewhat stunned. What is he talking? So then, interestingly, they'll be listening to you and you will be proceeding. So usually, stress management, I will start with a survey. I am coming to you and I am asking certain questions to you, I'll say, and I'll be asking certain questions. And I'll be asking, are you irritable these days? Are you indecisive? Are you worrying about trivial things? Are you unable to concentrate or postponing the work? Uh, Forgetful these days, misunderstanding others so often, unable to organize the things, and getting confused about your roles and responsibilities, and finding signs of anxiety or depression, or any change in the habits, feeling sick frequently, more often accident prone, more preoccupied, disturbed sleep, tired or weak, humor, inability to enjoy humor, inability to enjoy sex, uh, inability to tolerate certain people, overreacting. So many cases you will be posing, and you will ask them. If yes, you say yes. If you say no, you say no. You need not utter it out. In the mind, you just keep on ticking the yeses and nos. And then we just pretend as if we are calculating the thing from their mind. Then we will declare the results. 90% of you said yes to 90% of questions. That means what we said is about all the symptoms of stress we said, and we did not say that those are symptoms. We asked them as if we are conducting a survey, and they will be participating in the survey, and they will be identifying themselves with the stress symptoms, and they accept, yes, 90% of the questions I. Then we declare that, then you should know something about stress. So this is the way we started our way. Then we say, adopt stress as you adopt a child, and adapt to stress happily as you adapt after marriage. So adoption, adaptation. And also we can tell about the chronic fatigue syndromes, burnout professional syndromes, and also when you become a leader or head of the department, how the buck should stop there. So all these things, how stressful those things and stress produces those things, we'll tell. And then our slides, our 200 slides have got two parts. Part 1, nature of stress. Part 2, management of stress. Among this part 1, nature of stress, we will be selecting certain things only. We will not be presenting all the things in all the meetings. What is stress? It is wear and tear. And also we show you certain things like some shoes, some bodies, how the wear and tear will affect. Similarly, mind also, the reaction of the people, the disparity between the demands and the resources. When the pressures are more than resources, how the stress will be operating, we'll explain. And also here also he has a resource, circle resource, and environment is asking for a square. So like this, we can prepare our own slides and explain. Even the human being also, they although they look of similar size, some people have rat-like mentality, some people have rabbit-like mentality, some people have the capacity like elephant to bear any amount of the things. So stress-bearing capacity, stress and you. As long as the stress is with you, it is a friend. Once it is on you, it will produce discomfort. Once it is in you, lot of diseases, psychosomatic diseases. And last straw on the camel's neck. How a student, ninth class student, after being chided by a teacher, commits suicide. How a constable, when refused a leave, he he shoots at the inspector and commits suicide. So why it is happening? It is all because of accumulated stress, sudden stress, nature of the stressors, and their intensity, quantity wise, how much it produces, and also vulnerable spots. Like Ravana has got the nectar pot inside his uh, his abdomen, or some patch on the balloon, Achilles heel. So this type of weaknesses. Some people will have weakness for money. Some people will have weakness for fame. So this type of things producing lots of stress. And the type of stressors also external stressors like physical environment, social interaction, all these things I will be discussing. And physical environment, various things also we can discuss. Social interaction, the rudeness, bossism, these things also. These things particularly for employees, I think we can discuss. When we are talking the stress management for to the college students, we just skip these slides. So we selectively we take major life events and their ability to produce stress, and also daily hassles, how they can produce stress. Internal stressors like lifestyle choices, caffeine, lack of sleep, or loaded schedules, negative self-talk, pessimistic self-criticism, over-analysis, mind traps, all or nothing thinking, exaggeration, rigid thinking, personality traits like workaholics, perfectionists. So these things, depending upon the situation there, we will be assorting the things. Pressure, frustration, conflicts, cause of distress, distress and eustress will be explaining, and work pressure. Also here, this type of slide will be somewhat interesting for all the people. Collector garu will have more stress, or collector office opponent will have more stress, or collector's driver will have more stress. Usually all the people will be answering collector garu will have more stress. No, it is the reverse. So this type of things, people will be involving there. Oh, is it so? Why it is happening, we can explain. Drive for success, how the psychological, the trauma will be operating on the people, changing the work patterns, working conditions, overwork, and how underwork even produces stress and uncertainty, responsibilities, relations at work, changes at work. Uh, so not only the work, but also the frustrations, inability to achieve the goals, the conflicts, approach avoidance, double approach, avoidance, conflicts. These things also we will be explaining. When we explain these things with the examples, people will be more involved. For example, a teetotaler attended a conference. There all the people are drinking. Why not me? People are tempting. No, 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 never. So this type of approach avoidance conflict. Double approach, whether to marry that rich girl or this poor girl with so many charms. So this type of approach conflicts, and avoidance conflicts. These things caught between the devil and the deep sea. a government employee who is caught between the politicians' pressures and the work rules. So this type of examples, if we give, they will be easily connected. And also to explain the nervous response. A angry person will have the redness of face, palpitation, excessive breathing. So all these things, even a person with fear also will have. A person with exercise also will have. Why? Because adrenaline or noradrenaline, that rush is responsible for this one. So when we explain this one, people will understand when they get this one. And we can explain about alarm resistance and exhaustion. So these things also, if the people can understand. And how long we can bear the stress? We can take the example of corona, psychological perspectives of corona, and how hostility, anger, pessimism, depression, anxiety, loneliness, negative things, psychological reactions. Initially, the denial, and after that, denial, I think anxiety. And after that, with anxiety, how many anxiety can produce how many diseases in the body, mortality and disability, and also the phobic disorders about the bats, how the people will develop, and hands washing, how the people will develop OCDs, hoarding and panic buying. So when the stress is going on, how the things will be going on, depression, all the symptoms of depression you can tell. And also some people commit even suicide. And smoking, how smoking can be hazardous, alcohol dependence and withdrawal, overeating, undereating, and irritability, and even raise domestic violence during the corona period, lockdown period. And also about the displacement anger also we can tell, and overaction of certain professions. Why police would be overacting? Because of the stress associated with the profession. Why government nurses are so irritable compared to private nurses? Because of their professional hazards. So this type of things we can explain. Burnout professional syndromes. We can classical list also we can tell about how illnesses like all psychosomatic illnesses caused by stress also we can explain. And suggestibility, how copycat suicides can occur, and infection proneness because of lack of immunity, and the lifespan, how it gets reduced, and accident proneness, permanent changes in the neuroreceptors, chronic fatigue, and the blame game, the immature way we try to blame, and intimidation because of various factors, and post-traumatic stress disorders. So these are all the nature of the stress. If you keep on telling about all these things, it itself will take 2 hours or 3 hours. So depending upon the crowd, depending upon the nature, depending upon the appeal you want, you can select just before the day before, you can assort the slides and you can take the presentation there. Stress management, you can tell about the major things, which is the best thing. So just with one slide, you can say that all these things will work. Whatever the thing you like, it works simply. That's all. Uh, don't think that it is incorrigible. I can do something, not my inability. How to differentiate the stressors into tiger-like stressors, cat-like stressors? How to act offensive way or defensive way, coping strategies, how the key is in your hands only, that will explain. So this slide in every presentation I keep, because this is the core nucleus of stress management. What are the goals? Convert distress to eustress. Start enjoying the experience. Don't react but act on it. Barriers: no need, no interest, no time. Motivators: the fear should have and some desire you should have. So these things, one after the other, you can explain. How to change the attitude from distress to eustress. start enjoying the experience. Here, I remember one of my fellow psychiatrists, I don't want to name him because he wanted to crack a joke. When rape is inevitable, you enjoy it, he said as an example. Immediately, because so many women are there, and somehow a lot of criticism he had to face. So one has to be very careful about the audience when you give the examples. Don't react but act on it. Regarding the proactive, not reactive, active and proactive. I give an example of a driver who comes always late when we go for a meeting. So how to avoid that one? By telling an hour or half an hour before, and how to manage that one so that he will be happy and we will be happy. Stress management techniques also, how to change our thinking pattern, behavior, our lifestyle, and reframing our thoughts, positive thinking, and we try to fit the elephant into the small garage, which is not possible. So we have to improve the design. So how to improve our cognitive things, and how to be assertive, get organized, ventilation, humor, diversions, these things, when necessary, I think we can explain. And also regarding the lifestyle management, diet, exercise, sleep, these things I will explain. Uh, and positive attitude also, how to develop positive attitude. బాబోయ్ పరీక్షలో it will be distress. ఎంచక్క పరీక్షలో, so I will be proving my worth. So how our attitude will be differing. Half the hall is empty, pessimistic, half the hall is full. So this type of examples I think we can give. You see what you expect to see, that we can explain. A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. Optimist sees difficulty, opportunity in every difficulty. And you can give the example of TV tuning also, the channels, ABC strategy about the awareness, the balancing, control, these things also. If I think we can tell about these things, avoiding quick fixes, but the standard solution for the thing. How information overload produces lot of anxiety, and how to avoid these things. How frequently entering into Facebook or mails, and how much influence it will have. And also relaxation doesn't mean anything like laziness. Time management, how much important is one, so that it will save the from the stress. And also perseverance, intellectual insight and emotional insight, psychosomatics nature, uh, regarding the various types of exercises, including yoga, including meditation, our relaxation exercise, biofeedback, assertiveness training, communication skills, uh, how the tongue is a double-edged knife, whether how it can produce peace and how it can cause wars, about the fish example, and also how the silence is the best communication skill, about the listening skills, uh, and also handling a difficult customers, and empathy, how important it is in emotional EQ. About EQ also you can tell something about empathizing, and understanding the other's emotions, and putting ourselves in the shoes of the other person, and not what you have but what he needs, and the blame games, and if necessary taking the social support, and the changes, and how to improve ourselves. For example, AI is ruling. I think we have to improve. 2040 we have to keep in our mind. Vision 2040. Personal life Johari window also, if the time permits, I think you can tell. Johari window also, how we can be stress free. I think we can talk about that one. The seat of the life, love, work, and play. And then lastly, last 5 minutes I always take something like spirituality, which will be appealing for them, about the karma hypothesis. Every action would be having a reaction from the community. We have to live like a dewdrop on the lotus leaf, are like a lotus leaf on the water. And be duty oriented but not result oriented. Give the effort. Either success or failure, take it equally. So this type of messages will be definitely helping the students in the examinations. Murphy's law about the individuality in spite of our planning, how the things will be going somewhat against us. And also the destination. Okay, 2026 is going on. What about 2066? It will come. Definitely, it will come. Then what will be the world like? Whether you will be there or not. So these things we have to think about it. So then I think you will develop a sort of philosophical attitude. Then lastly, last 1 minute with a word about the Advaitam. Real eternal truths like the how old age is inevitable, how weathering away is inevitable, how the things will be changing, and how ultimately everything will unite with the
Nature.
what is the final destination. I think we'll be talking about that one and the nature of our life. And we have to say that one has to be spiritual at the same time, when one should be rational. Spirituality sans superstitions, that is humanism. Spirituality is the best stress buster. You are not feeling lonely. God is an abstract thing, but when God is with you, naturally you will be living a sacred life, and everything will be so good for you and for the society. So this thing with this message also we can give, and also we can say that this is Purnam, that is Purnam. Our individual consciousness is Purnam, and the whole universal consciousness is Purnam. This Purnam is part of that Purnam. At one time or other, this Purnam will break into the, to unite into the bigger Purnam. So this fact, we have to accept this fact. So a little Advaitam also, I think we can tell them. Everybody is a yogi as long as he does the duty perfectly. Even a sweeper or a man with a gun. Lastly, we say purity leads to calmness, calmness leads to concentration, concentration leads to achievement, and our proper thoughts will produce proper speech produces actions, good actions produces good habits, and it leads to perfect character. A person with perfect characters naturally will get good thoughts only. So, with that, you have to get to stamp an impression on the minds of the people that, oh, already 1.5 hours, just it went on like 30 minutes or 20 minutes only. What a beautiful message he has given. So such impression we have to give. And they should be asking you, మళ్ళీ మీరు ఇంకొకసారి రావాలండి, మా వాళ్ళని ఇంకోటి అడ్రస్ చేయాలండి, సో కమ్ బ్యాక్ సూన్ సార్, విల్ బి మిస్సింగ్ యూ సార్. So that type of, with that impression, we will be leaving them. Now it is 9 o'clock. I think it is expected that 45 minutes is the slot for us. Always it is better to stick to the time, not to exceed. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Uh, Narayan Rao Garu and all the organizers and the members of Telangana Psychiatric Society. And this is end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and participating and giving this lecture. Any questions? No questions, sir. I request our Dr. Pawan Kulkarni, sir, to propose vote of thanks.
Sir, am I audible, sir? Sir, sir,
Yeah.
sir. Good evening, everyone, sir. Sir, Ram Reddy, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for accepting our invitation. And For all the attendees here, sir is the one who practices what he preaches. Sir is also awarded from the income tax department also, just giving a trivia. So sir అన్ని ఏవేవైతే విషయాలు చెప్పారు this is from the experience, and sir, really thankful to you for accepting our invitation and giving this valuable information, sir. Books కంటే కూడా apart from the books, what there is so much that from the practice we have learned, sir. And thank all the office bearers of IPS TSB and all the attendees for attending. And I thank today's sponsor Sanj Pharma for sponsoring this event. Thank you, sir.
Thank you once again.
Thank you, Anil Martin, for providing the
Anil,
technological